Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's streaming presentation. I'm back. I'm live. I have slept way too little, so this is going to be sluggish. How's everyone doing today? And of course, in order. Hello Hunt, hello Ray, hello Bala, hello Kebab Thief, hello... Yeah, I did say Ray earlier. Hello Curvader, hello Eka, hello Brian, hello Bear Force, and hello Eric. Yeah, again, I know the feeling, Hunt. Actually, Kazi's not here just now. I know because I spoke to her on Discord. Wait, why am I grabbing my controller? I don't need my controller for this game. There we go. And then Trails made me hungry. I suppose? How does that work? Good dishes? Ha ha, Smiley, and hi, Smiley. We already know that this game isn't exactly Kazi's bag, so it's perfectly fine. Kazi can do what Kazi wants. No, I don't want To the Moon soundtrack, I just want To the Moon. There we go. Calvert food tour is a thing now, apparently. And the more you know. No, don't... fucking automated full screen, you pile of wank! And that's all my windows fucked up again. I don't hate this game's engine, but I hate this game's engine with a fucking passion. I'm fine. Okay, I can no longer see anything. And Poxon, thank you for the host. Hi Poxon, and hi Crystal Tag. It is as ever excellent to see you. Let me just make sure I have everything properly visible. Yes. Okay. And let me turn on the specialized To the Moon screen cap, because that's the only option I've got with this bloody thing. I'll have to go. Actually, I need to double check something. That is much better. I can actually just have my chat overlaying my overlay, because I'm playing this in full screen with my overlay, because the window is entirely too bloody tiny. Game feels a bit louder than you. That's entirely possible. How's this? Well, let me load up a game first. Okay, good. Anyway, when last we left off, we had found out how Johnny had hooked up with River, the fact that River has a fairly impressive number of issues, and I'm not saying that in a derogatory form. It's quite sucky for her that she's stuck dealing with those kinds of things, but she seems to have found her way. But obviously her life isn't made easier by it. But at the same time, we still have absolutely no goddamn idea why Johnny wants to go to the moon, and how to affect this, in his mind at least. Just look at what I just sent you. What? Right, I need to screen cap this separately because of this. This is fine. This is very easily handleable. Give me a moment. Do you know what? That's an entirely fair counter. Also a very good Halloween statement to make. Oh god, this was my life when I was still employed. This was so much my life when I was still employed. Yeah. Or at least not so much a problem with her, but finding it difficult to deal with the issues, which is fully understandable. But yeah, this cat is basically me when I was still at work. Sure, most days it was okay. Most customers just wanted information, and that was it. Day was cold, problem was solved. But there were a lot of days that ended like this. I also have two pics to show you. Tell me, do you think my chair is broken a bit? One moment. It's fine. This is just Art Nouveau metal, isn't it? Okay, let me get my screen cap and turn that off. Okay, now I need to close this, get to the moon back in position, make sure that this is still capturing my voice, that I have this. Oh my god. Again, I absolutely love To the Moon, but why is it so much effort to get it to function? That is a pathetically short amount of time for a chair to fall apart. Especially like that, holy crap. Okay. I believe we can now continue as a game. But yeah, we are now trying to figure out why on earth Johnny wants to go to the moon, and we are going further and further back into his childhood to figure it out. So far, no joy. I mean, so far, no good. Various books with smudged titles. Sorry. I also like, by the way, the contrast that we're hearing a ticking clock now, because, as we know, the only reason every clock had the tick removed was because it bothered River. Well, to be fair, a ticking clock is pretty annoying indeed. I have no idea where the sofa counts, but you know what? I'll take it. I already bought a new mouse. I paid 10 euros extra for express shipping. For my paint, it'll be here sometime next week, maybe, hopefully, perhaps. I'm fine. Oh, what? Not again! A glass bottle of pickled cucumbers. Holy crap, my mind's totally blown! You're pretty easily impressed. Well, they're not pickled olives, for once. But yeah, about all we know at this point is that this is apparently Johnny's childhood home with his mother, who keeps calling him Joey because of his granddad being named Joey. Alright, let's see if I can do this memento puzzle in one go. My guess, no. Shit, I did that wrong, I think. No! I actually got it in 6 turns. Which is the ideal amount of turns. Look. Ideal 6. To-do. But yeah, I hope everyone is doing well today. Or well-ish. Ah, it smells like roadkill again. Where are we? Ava? What the hell is that? Soundtrack so much. I feel like I need to up the volume again a bit now because this is very low now. I think it's just that the main menu music is that loud. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, how's the volume balance now? Am I too loud? Am I being drowned out? Is the game too soft? Excelsior. That's his next memory. Yeah, but why is it going Lapota on us? Now there's a reference many people will miss, and I like it. I don't know, it's just not linking the memories together for construction. There must be a malfunction within the machine's ADG. Again? I thought the last fix was foolproof for another half a year! I can't believe those idiots in the maintenance department. Look, don't worry, we've already gotten the teenage years saved. Sorry, Ginette. We might still be able to do this. Alright, but I ain't telling him about this. As long as we succeed, he doesn't have to know. Well, I guess this is it. There's nothing we can do here. Basically, memory deterioration seems to be the theme of the game here. Ready to finalize before activation? Ladies first. What a shame. I was actually looking forward to it. Act 2. Billions of lighthouses stuck at the far end of the sky. Huh, last time I played this, I should have gone on until this. Act 2 would have been a natural stopping point. Don't disturb them. They might not wake easily, but they need the concentration. That is a reference and a half. And that's all this fool knows. Sorry, I can't be of more help. Then that'll have to be enough. Aye, all that's left to do is linking your registered desire to go to the moon to your early memories. Then we'll pull the switch and voila, you'll be on the moon in no time. I have a question. If you could make Lily disappear, that means you can alter this world. Then, can you not simply make things happen and fulfill my wish here and now? That would work if this were your one true set of memories. What do you mean? What is this then? What am I? This is just a copy, a canvas for us to work with, if you will. As for you, you are merely an algorithm traced from Johnny. Enough to reflect his likeness, but far from complete. Hell of a thing to tell, though. All we can do is prepare this canvas in a logically consistent way. And then, when we transfer your registered desire to your childhood, the machine will generate your new life, one where the desire dictates your behavior. Hey, Troll. The result of that would then be written to the real John. So you see, even if we satisfy you, you are merely a read-only program. I mean, we could reset you over and over again, and that's enough. Oh, don't be so sensitive. He's not real, you know. Don't be such an asshole, Dr. Watt. If you truly believed that, why did you even care to explain? I'm just trying to save time. Let's go. Doctor. Is that what I truly am? Grim. Now, there's a lot more to Dr. Watts than just habit. Ah, all of our night's work. What the? At least give me a warning first. What can I say? I like being ahead. I'd ask if that's a pun, but I'm afraid you'd say yes. Let's do this fast. I feel silly enough in this form as it is. All we need to do is pass his desire from the latest memory to the earliest. Line up two matching mementos on the edges to transfer the registered desire. That was it, yeah. Because I don't think I can actually... Oh, I can turn this one already. So basically line up the existing image, because this one... Well, this is the only one between the set of memories that's the same. Only I messed up a little bit because I need to turn it like this. So that now the yellow bunny can line up. Isn't that adorable? Yeah, you basically need to link up the memories. That's the conceit. And I'm trying to recall how to handle this. Because if I move this around, I no longer have that linked. Ava, check this out! Om nom 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 nom. Seriously? True enough. And of course, here's the problem. His childhood is, not really there anymore, is it? Too bad, we got a straggler here. No loss, we can do this without him. I know, but it feels incomplete. You get too attached, it's going to impede your abilities to do your job. That's rubbish, don't pin your womanly ways on me. Because yeah, the football is supposed to link up to the further past. The problem I've got... Oh, right! Once they're lit up in yellow, you're done with that particular memory. That was the trick. I was confused as fuck when I did this last time. I can just do this. Now he's locked in. And now the memories are all linked up. Ding! That's about all of the ones we can work with. Ready to pull the switch? You know me, always ready. Alright, let's go check out what souvenirs he brought back from the moon. Ladies first? Not this time, hon! That's a little too early. Let's enter from a bit further ahead to see results. Huh. I guess this part is still the same. Let's check somewhere else. Actually, one moment. Can I check on anything else here, or is this just further sealed in? It's been a long time since I last played this, and I feel like I missed a few things the first time I played it. Although that could be just my perception. Oh, misclicked. Now I lost my chat. I have my chat again. I am amazing. Jeez, the same thing here as well. Usually there's at least some change. Something isn't right. These memories, they feel more than just having happened again. They are exactly the same. That's impossible. The desire was transferred, was it not? It was. Let's transfer back with John and check the other memories. Did I mention I love this soundtrack? Okay, this isn't right. How could everything be the same? Let's confirm it. We need his last accessible memory. This is the same setting as his real last accessible memory. I'm not too crazy about where this is going. But yeah, in relatively simplistic terms, the whole idea of this, their memory manipulation is they take the desire of very old Johnny, route it back through his memories all the way back to his childhood, and essentially implant the desire to go to the moon in his early childhood, and then have the machine almost algorithmically create a past history in his own memories that would have had him accomplish going to the moon. Things aren't working out, however. Johnny? Oh, what a pleasant surprise. We don't get many visitors around here. Deja vu again. My name is Dr. Eva Roslin, and this is... What? I'm not saying it twice. Dr. Neil Watts. Are you familiar with the Sigmund Agency of Life Generation? Oh, are you two from the agency? How convenient. I've just been thinking of calling you. Lily, get us some tea, please. Lily? Freeze him too. It's why the Sigmund Corporation is stuck under an enormous amount of laws and regulations, and they are only ever allowed to use this technology on people who are on the verge of death and will never recover. It's essentially last wish fulfillment, even if it's only in the mind of the dying person. There are actually 2 mini episodes that were released a little bit later on that have been released alongside To the Moon, that basically show more of the real life problems that Eva Roslin and Neil Watts go through, and the moral quandaries that this technology brings with it. Yeah, they are very much on a timer. Well? Wait here, I'll go send the desire signal again. See if there are any changes. It transferred successfully for sure. Any changes? Not even a hair. How could this be? Even if this desire doesn't work alone, why is there no change at all? Perhaps it just needs some provoking to activate. From his early memories? The earliest we can get to. Let's go. Yeah, actually this is my second playthrough of To the Moon on the channel troll. I am replaying the entire trilogy as a way to celebrate that Impostor Factory is out. So once I'm done with this and the next one, we are definitely going for Impostor Factory. And I have to admit, I cannot wait. And Impostor Factory already has one review that just made me go, yeah, this is going to be a good one. To wit, at this point we're basically paying Ken Gao to make us cry. Ken Gao being the developer. Which basically sums up these games in a nutshell, doesn't it? Johnny's desire to go to the moon might need some stimulation to be brought up, huh? Well then. What the? This wasn't what they said was playing. Oh well. Do you mind, River? No, I like this one. Alright, let's go then. Hopefully that's enough for an ignition. Wait, where's Neil? Did you see To the Moon? How was it? Yeah, that's a bit too much pretense for me. I prefer my movies to be a bit more, je ne sais quoi. You do not get to accuse a movie of having too much pretense when you say that you want something to be more je ne sais quoi. You pretentious git. Oh god, the family has activated. To the moon, darling! Ooh, Henry. Dear Lord, I'm way too tired and hungry to be constructing movies. Guess I should go see if anything's changed with John. Sorry for making you sit through this, buddy. It's all the same. I'll have to try igniting it somewhere else then. This is ridiculous. Shoo. Lily? Perhaps something here could work. I don't have time for her right now. So, did she just throw an encyclopedia in your face? Huh? Did she? Shut up, dude. What are you guys doing here? It's starting. Let's go get a good spot. Wait. I don't remember that happening. I know, troll. Something must have changed. Can't talk to any of these? No. Nothing interesting here? Okay. Because do you know what is being done to ignite the memory of going to the moon? Well... Wait a minute. This isn't a real change. This is... May I have your attention, please? As you know, I am a representative sent from NASA in all its glory. And I'm here to tell you all about it. Hit it, Timmy! Wow, that was terrible. But I digress. I love that the facepalm is genuinely audible. Anyway, I know that many of you are wondering, what chances do I have of doing something as awesome as adventuring in another realm? To inhale the sweetness of Venus, to swim counterclockwise through the rings of Saturn. Or perhaps just chilling at the backside of the moon? Well, here at NASA, we believe that with enough will, everyone has the potential. It could be you. Or you. Or perhaps you. But I don't want to go to the moon. Then you're in luck. Wait, what? Why not? Why should I? I'm happy here on Earth as it is. Well, don't you want to go there even a little bit? No. Why? Not even a tiny bit. No. Well, as an official NASA recruiter, I shall go over some facts about the moon. To start off, the moon is 4.5 billion years old. And did you know that its surface is about as big as Africa? It's true. In fact, if you try to bike around the moon... Also, it takes 1.5247 seconds for light to travel to the moon from here. And if you drive a flying car, it takes 130 days. I knew that. I like how the music is getting more and more stressful. And last but not least, people who go to the moon get rich and famous. And we all know that rich plus famous equals groupies. So, that concludes my presentation. Remember, NASA welcomes any of you, especially if you're a brunette. I mean, he tried. I'll give him that. He definitely tried. Well, what did you think? NASA probably wouldn't hire you, but I suppose it was blatant enough for this. I do try pretty hard. Are you gonna go see if that worked? Of course. Be right back. Back. Report. Utter failure. Deuce. Hey, don't get discouraged. I'm sure there are still things to be done. Such as? Well... Sorry. We can't afford to finish building this house, Isabel. We can barely afford to pay for her treatment. But can you afford the Lunar Trip lottery? If you sell this house, you sure can! Is the diagnosis certain? Yes. In fact, we rarely have anyone. Did you know that NASA has excellent healthcare plans? It's true for both you and your spouse. Free pony rides in space! Oh look, a wedding. Good for you. But here's a riddle. Guess where you should go for the honeymoon? I mean, they're trying. I think they're out of ideas, though. River? Damn it. Glass. Slippery! Johnny! John! What the cucumber? Phew. You know what? This just isn't working. It's more than just not working, it's ridiculous. We're freaking professionals. I didn't sign up for the job to run around yelling at him like an idiot. You didn't? Look, maybe this lack of sleep's getting to us. Had I known that we'd been all-nighter, I would have brought coffee. I agree. You should have seen the movie I constructed earlier. What movie? Exactly. Anyway, as valuable as time is here, this just isn't going anywhere like this. Let's take a break till morning. Hopefully Johnny can hang on till then. I do have some calls to make. I'm assuming the payment for the job goes back to the next of kin, if there are any. But it's not directly addressed, I don't think. It doesn't make sense. Why did the machine have no effect? Johnny's registered wish to go to the moon was successfully transferred, yet there wasn't even a trace of him wanting to go to the moon after the transfer. Unless a secondary condition for the change was the desire was changed in the process. Only then would the same desire produce two different outcomes at two different points in time. And there's no denying that River played an important role through it all. Be nice, troll. If there's anything that could have caused the court to change, she would be the top suspect. But out of all things, what exactly caused it? River. Just what exactly did you do? The sun's rising. We don't have much time left. Wonder if Neil came up with anything. Can I go back to the car at this point? I'm actually kind of curious. Oh. Well, that answers that. You can smell that squirrel Neil ran over all the way from here now. It's Sunday, dear. Shh, let them sleep. Okay, I can be a complete asshole. Okay, let's just leave the children alone. I really should have watched those two last night. They were up late. Well, it's not an everyday circumstance. That's my mouse arrow. What the crap? There we go. I suppose. Oh, was there something you wanted to ask? Whoa. The frame rate of the stream is not dipping. For some reason, this one menu is causing the game to have an absolute goddamn seizure. You know, it's pretty unusual for someone like you to work here. With 2 children and all, I mean. It's not that bad, really. There's a school bus that passes through here. But how did you even end up here? Well, a few years ago, my husband passed away. What happened? He was in the army. They were the last batch to be deployed overseas. Sorry to hear. I panicked. Our savings were low and the job market was grim. Johnny saw my ad and offered me this job. I accepted with gratitude. This place was peaceful, too. It helped me with my grieving. Doesn't the government issue grants to war widows to help them get back on their feet? They do, and eventually I received aid. But by then, Johnny was starting to have trouble on his own. He needed my help. Tommy and Sarah liked this place too, and so we stayed. As for Johnny, he was glad as well. We're gonna miss him. I think deep down, he really wanted a family. So what are you going to tell them about John? I don't know. I'll probably make something up, but... It's no use! I mean, it's no use. Kids are smart nowadays, they'll figure it out. Might as well, it's the nature of life, there's nothing to hide. This is your full-time job, isn't it? What do you do when this is over? What else is there to do? Find a job in the city and live on, I suppose. It's a shame, though. I'm gonna miss Johnny and this place. Maybe I'll come back to visit every once in a while. Oh, hey. Before Johnny fell unconscious, he told me that you two would probably be coming soon. He said that he probably wouldn't get the chance himself, but he wanted me to tell you thanks for him. So, thank you. Way to lay on the pressure, lady! Turn on and store tap water. What? Why is that an option? Well, okay. A dusty pile of Animorphs books. That chest is still locked. That is also still locked. There's a decent chance that I won't even be able to get into those chests. This game isn't an RPG after all. And this still creeps me the hell out. What is it? It seems like our little Johnny here has some hidden record from the old days. Hidden record? Hidden medical records, to be exact. Apparently, during his youth, he was administered a large dose of enhanced beta blockers. And what luck! They tend to have this little side effect on a curious thing called memories. Beta blockers? Johnny didn't have a heart condition, did he? Apparently not. Which leads one to wonder if the side effects were intended to be merely just that to begin with. And in such a large amount, its impact on his memories at the time of administration must have been significant. You think that's what kept us out of his earliest memories? Well, it's not the machine, I'll tell you that. The maintenance department yelled at me for scolding them. So what now? I was just given the reconfiguration frequencies. That should get us past the blockers. Yeah, my mother was on beta blockers for a while because of very, very significant migraines. She's managed to get away from them, thankfully, but she didn't enjoy them. I didn't know they were used for heart conditions, but in Mum's case it was to address her heavy migraines. And once we're in his childhood, it might finally be early enough to transfer his desire for it to work. Then what are we waiting for? Just one thing. Of course, there's always that one thing. In order to activate the new frequencies, we'll need a trigger. A trigger? Something that exists strongly in the bridging inaccessible memory. And we'll need to give it to John for him to stimulate his memory internally. But what do we know of that? We've only gotten a glimpse of his childhood memories. Even if we find a childhood photo or something, John's unconscious. Yeah, back to square one. You know, this job hasn't been such a pain in the arse for me since Nora's case last year. Likewise. This is killing me. I'm going out to get some fresh air. Forgot my coffee. Ah, that would do it, troll. The last paper rabbit River gave to John. It smells! Quit barging in and out of doors. The roadkill, Ava! It smells! I know, it's your fault for running over it. What's going on? The children are still sleeping. Wait a minute. That last memory, the one we were stuck at. It was the same smell! What are you two talking about? But yeah, fair enough, troll. I did not know that. The olfactory receptors are directly linked to the brain's limbic system, Lily. Don't you see what this means? What? He means that smell is arguably the most effective sense for memory recall. We can use it as the stimulant to bridge his childhood memories. And the best part, even though Johnny is unconscious, he's still susceptible. I think I'm missing some vital contextual info in this whole thing. Alright, this is good. This is awesome! Now you just need to go fetch a piece of the roadkill. Yes, I'll just... Wait, why should I fetch it? You're the one who ran over it! Exactly, I've already done my part. I have said it before, and I will say it again loudly for the people in the back. This game has some of the best goddamn dialogue in gaming. This series, I should say. Oh, you miserable bastard. If it helps any, I have a pair of gloves you can borrow. Dramatic black screen. They aren't really disposable gloves, but that'll probably change after this. Just make sure the gloves don't get anywhere near this house afterward. The roadkill will have to come in, though. Oh, God. I'm sorry. Also, is Neil... Those gloves look good on you, dear. Oh, shut your mouth. Are you just going to stand here? At least go monitor Johnny with his doctor. Nah, I'll pass. Watching someone wither away helplessly just isn't my cup of coffee. Also, by the way, if you go into the menu, you can actually see Johnny's condition. It's worsening. How's John doing? Barely hanging on. What are you two doing? We just couldn't make any progress. It better be soon. We don't have long. If you're looking for your colleague, I think he's in the kitchen. No, he is now being smug in the living room. Deja vu. At least it stopped smoking. kind of things this job gets me into. It's not safe to just bring in a piece of germ-infected roadkill like this. There's a valve container in the car. It'll at least make its odor controllable. Where are you going? I gotta go take a leak. Outside? What a mess. The crash shook everything up. Let's see. Ah, here it is. Now to get some of that dirty roadkill. What was that? This... painkillers? Insurance pump's gonna be a pain. Yum. Painkillers. Oh, hey. Did you get the roadkill? It's ready. Great! Go get it set up. I'll be right back. Neil. These painkillers, I think they're yours? Hey! May I ask why you are on them? I wasn't going to tell you, but... this is embarrassing. A few days ago, I walked into a concrete wall. You just walked into a wall like that? What can I say? I was in deep thought. You know how deeply I think. These are some rather strong pills, Neil. And it was a rather strong concrete wall. It was a match made in heaven, I say. Anyways, you've got the roadkill, right? Let's hurry. John's dying back there. Neil. You aren't addicted, are you? Are you kidding me? I'd overdose before I'd sink to that level of contrived mess. That or it's a flimsy excuse for being stuck on painkillers, Beliar. So when we get to that exact point, I will send the signal. When I do, I want you to release the valve for about 3 seconds. Certainly. About time you showed up. Have you made sure the germs are sealed off? Fully sealed and filtered. Not like it'd matter to a dead man. Harsh. You should know that Johnny's condition is deteriorating fast. Jesus Christ, Smiley. That's remarkably specific, and please stop that. This might be your last chance, you two. Whatever you do in there, good luck. Luck is the last thing we need. Act 3. They shine their lights at the other lighthouses and at me. Let's go. Because we already have the necessary memories, of course. To think that this little thing's causing us so much trouble. I just want to kick it to outer space. I suppose all we can do now is to send the signal in hope. Well, ready? Something's happening. Quick, send it again. What's going on? Doctor, something's wrong. What? Take over for me, Lily. His condition has been destabilized. Intake levels must be reconfigured. What's happening to this place? It's been destabilized. Get out. What? Get out of his memory now! What are you talking about? If the system doesn't restabilize soon, the shock might permanently damage whoever's in here. You've got to be kidding. Why aren't you getting out then? I can't, Neil. If both of us get out under this state, all our work will be reset. There won't be enough time to redo all we've done before Johnny... Oh, you freaking... Don't pull that contrived crap on me. This ain't a movie and you're no hero, you're just being a moron. Then why are you being one too? Get the hell out of here! Screw that, if you're gone, they'll probably pair me up with Alistair! Do you know how badly he smells? Worse than the roadkill! Damn it, Neil, this is what I get for helping you cheat through the entrance exams. They both care way too much about this and don't want to admit it. Doctor? I think we're okay for now. And guess what? Your carrot cake sucks! Wait a minute. Yeah, and at the last Christmas party, you... Oh. Come on, let's go before that happens again. You know that I didn't mean to, you know, call you a moron, right? You know that I did, right? Did I mention I love these two? Here goes nothing. Yeah, Ava does not pull any punches. It's one of the reasons I like her so much. And this looks more like a stable memory. Wow, I can't believe that worked. So we actually made it. But now I'm not sure if I'm going to like this place. What do you mean? It seems peaceful enough. Neil, did you notice something odd in Johnny's room earlier? What? There was something strange in there. Didn't you see it? I suppose not. Never mind. I just hope I'm wrong. I feel like I missed what she's implying here. Wow, that sounds fabulous. I know, right? You've got to take them there one day. I do know what happens, yes. Jeez, the time overlap's getting out of hand. Look at how many of him are there. I think that's a bit of a... Look at how many of him there are. It's like a zoo. Right, that was it. Looks like the ball's moving around on its own and he's just chasing it. Is he taking the piss out of the RPG Maker engine? Because I am here for that. All thanks to this little fella's sacrifice. I hope. Oh, jeez, look at the time. I'd better get going. The store closes early today. Oh, take care, Martha. Say hello to the boys for me. I will. I'll see you around. Well, this is the end of the road. And you were saying? Never mind that. Maybe I was wrong after all. I mean, this place, it's so peaceful. The only thing that exists in this memory that could do such a thing would be... Shit! We need to go back, now! Wait, what's going on now? Just shut up and come! This usage of this singular beat is really, really heavy. Good God, guys, have a little bit of dignity. I don't understand. If he was unconscious, how could we be seeing this here when he never did? Still, I'm just surprised that he survived. Actually, he didn't. What? Didn't you see it in his room, Neil? Johnny slept on a bunk bed. Joey! Joey, can you hear me? Joey? Why'd you hit Joey, Ma? Why'd you hit him? Joey? Wake up, Joey! Wake up! Joey. Even though they were young, to lose a twin brother, not to mention how their mother must feel. At least Johnny, the beta blockers erased the memories. Not like he remembers it much. Fuzzily unlinked, not erased. Somewhere in there, the aftermath of those memories probably lingered. What about their mother? I don't think she took the beta blockers. She seems to have gone a little cuckoo. Can I suggest that you guys may be reading into this just a little bit much? Okay, she backed out at a slightly higher pace than normally and hit Joey perfectly wrongly with the rear fender, which happened to snap his neck. And, I mean, maybe you're overthinking. Anyway, at least I don't really think she called Johnny Joey as a nickname. But if she then takes Johnny for Joey, what about Johnny himself? I don't like it here. Let's move on. Seems like this wasn't the only memory unlinked. Odd. It's not putting up a barrier anymore. Don't jinx it. Dude, you should totally give this series a try. I mean, really, it's just wicked awesome. I've already plowed through 3 books straight. What's it called? Animorphs. It's about this group of kids turning into animals to fight mind-controlling slugs. Yeah, I don't like that weird alien stuff. Why not? It's great. Instead of going to boring school, they get to turn into tigers and maul big bad aliens. They're all like, rah, 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 rah. And then they become lasers. And it's all pew pew, pew 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 pew. Pew 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 pew. Stop that. Just watch, Johnny. One day, I'm going to be a famous writer. I'll write the coolest novel on the block, and every kid will get my book for free. I'll make us rich and buy both you and Ma really big houses. How would you get rich if you give away the books for free? Free for the kids. The parents will still have to pay, of course. Yeah, I'm sure the parents will be thrilled to give you money. What, you still mad about the other day? Come on, I called first dibs on the train fair and square. What happened to your prize, anyway? I gave it away. To a hobo? Look, it's not just about that day. You know Ma always favored you. Hey, that's not true. Remember last Christmas? And last Easter, and the time we went fishing, and... Okay, you know what? You can have my train if you want. Really? Yep. I mean, hey, by your reasoning, she'll just get me another one, right? Not the right thing to say there, kid. Listen, Johnny, what difference does it make who owns what? Everything that's mine is yours too. I mean, we both get to play with it, right? Yeah. I think the time period is kind of fuzzy. Right. I mean, come on, you're my twin brother, dude. You're like a part of me. Hey, let's go confuse the neighbors. Wait, in the rain? Yes, in the rain, come on! Deep. You know, that song has a lot to answer for. Some kind of carnival, huh? Shall we look around? How about I look around and you just stand here? How about we continue speaking in the form of questions for the next hour? Quit blabbering and go already. Ah, you ruined it. I don't know, maybe this takes place in the 2050s and Animorphs got a reboot. There you go. Fruits! Fresh fruits! Apples, oranges, and tomatoes, we got it all! Wait a minute, tomatoes aren't fruit. Yeah, they are. They're the ovaries of the plant and contain seeds. That's what a fruit is. But come on, tomatoes? We never ever refer to them as fruit. We who? I happen to enjoy cooking in groups, okay? I'm going to take cooking very seriously. Okay, this one should be... Ah, just send over there. I don't want this stupid toy. I want the train. It's the only train left. Oh. That's the only train left. Do you want to exchange your prize for a teddy bear instead? No, I just want the train. Now, John, don't make a scene. Joey won it fair and square, didn't he? But I won too! He just went first! It's okay, I'll let you play with it too. See how nice your brother is, Johnny? Okay, you dumplings, don't block the stand now. Come, let's go see what's over there. A dumpling. You know what? I'm going to call you Dumpling from now on. You're bluffing. Hey, is that whack-a-mole? What? Whack-a-mole! You take a mallet and whack moles. Isn't that animal abuse? They're fake moles, butthead. That's how people blew off steam before FPS were invented. You know what, Neil? You're probably not wrong. How primitive. Yeah, it's pretty ghetto. Why didn't you read about it? My grandpa was a fan. Wanna play? Just hit everything on the head and you win. Yes! I appreciate that they put this minigame in for no reason. Although with this crappy mouse, this is actually very hard. I'm having a lot of trouble keeping this thing properly under control compared to my usual. You mean 30 seconds, Hunt? Time's up! Let's see now. Out of 45 total target appearances, you struck 52 times and made 39 successful hits. That's an 86% hit rate! It's your new record! That actually counted as a memory, I forgot about that. Let me show you why I can't use my controller. As soon as I can get to the gamepad tab of this thing, because trying to find where the mouse is... Oh yeah, here we go. Now, these are the gamepad settings for this. Button 1 is A. I don't know what button 1 is, nor do I know what A represents. I have the options between A, B, C, X, Y, Z, and L and R. These are very shit keyboard controller setups. I could, but to be perfectly honest, I should like to want to prevent myself the migraine of dealing with this utterly shit system. I mean, even the keyboard settings are... This isn't helpful. This is in no way helpful. Isn't that a Nintendo controller? Which Nintendo controller has A, B, C, X, Y, and Z? At best, I would say this is a Sega Mega Drive controller. And the Sega Mega Drive controller never had an L and an R button. Ah, yes, 4 children of wonder are ahead of you. This one might just become a lawyer, and this one, a doctor. Oh my! Come on, I'm getting both of you. Treat. Hey, where's my tip? No way, I ain't talking to her. Good or bad, I'd be screwed either way. Yeah, there's the Z button there. But yeah, sadly, this engine is just really, really shitty. The later games actually have other engine possibilities, thank fuck. Welcome and behold, the world's smallest Ferris wheel. Can we ride it? Absolutely not. Does it even work? Absolutely not. Looks like someone just glued some chairs to a water wheel. No, don't care. I don't know, I found it funny. Final memory link here. Let's go speak to the children. I can never understand you, Joey. How can you stand the taste of them? They're just so sour and yucky. Sour and awesome is what you mean. Just try it. Nah, I don't even want to taste regular olives. You should try at least one, Johnny. Who knows, maybe you'll like it. Yeah! Nah. I'm done, though. Can I go play? Okay, but only at the playground and not an inch too far. Just leave that bag. I'll keep it for you. Nah, it's mine. I won it. And yeah, all those notes eventually tie together, among others. Pickled olives, Joey's favourite. And Animorphs were Joey's favourite childhood books. Excuse me. Way to follow Mom's orders, huh? Yeah, olives are never for me, but to those who enjoy them, I'm glad you do. Means I won't have to deal with them. The buttons are actually supposed to be for a gamepad, just one that doesn't really exist. Do you like other pickled things? Not usually. And cheers for those. Wow. Well, okay, so he wandered off the trail and found a cool place. Let's face it, he could have also been eaten by a pack of tigers. Tigers don't travel in packs, idiot. It was just an expression. You know, when I was a kid, my grandpa took me stargazing every year. Yeah? There was a hill outside of the city that we'd stay at. Same one every year. We'd watch the stars till daybreak. Well, I did mostly. He just carried the telescope for me. Of course. The thing was, though, Ma didn't want me to stay up late. Grandpa always told her that we were just camping and hid the telescope inside the car. That's all good, but when we go back in the morning, I had to pretend like I'd actually slept. So in conclusion, that's the story of how I started my caffeine addiction. And Evie, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome to the stream. Welcome Kazzy, welcome Hunt, welcome Evie. How are you doing and how was the rest of your stream? Maybe I should get this message off the screen. This might send the wrong message. This is not anything related to you guys. But LOL. Hey Michael. And I'm glad that it was fun. Graveyard Keeper is one of those games that really looks fun every time I see it. I intend to play it and then never get round to it. I don't know why. But yeah, thank you so much for the raid, and to anyone who isn't following Evie yet, firstly, it would beg a belief, but secondly, go follow Evie. Evie is made of yay and win. So you're saying someone should make you play it by donating? Just this once, I actually am not saying that someone should donate. I know it's unusual for me to not joke about it, but be nice, right? Shockingly, this time it's literally just a case of I hadn't gotten around to it. If you're actually curious, here's a page for the controls. Just kind of afraid it'll screw with my system, but let's try. The problem I have is that I'm still stuck in trial and error over what button 1 is on the gamepad, because button 1 on the gamepad really very rarely corresponds to the A button. Very rarely. Still, I might have a look at this for later use, but at the rate we're going, we might actually finish this game before long. I actually really like the image that they're using for the controller as well. One moment, let me see if I can drag it over, otherwise I'll need to screen cap separately. This thing. And it immediately kicked it away. God fucking shitting, sodding, bloody to the moon, capture blood. There it is. It's fine, to the moon is just an absolute goddamn bugbear with capturing. That is not a controller I have ever seen. Xbox controller troll. Anyway, let me get to the moon bit. Oops. There we go. Yes, Excelsior. Oh, I'm doing the same, Evie, but I'm just... Well, To the Moon is currently on a separate window on another monitor, because however much I adore this game, just very quickly for reference, this is my usual screen cap. This is a 1440p monitor. This is how big To the Moon is on that monitor. That's... Sod off, all of you. That's not exactly ideal. I can't see a single solitary thing about what I'm doing. So instead, what I have eventually jury-rigged, because I can full screen this. Just for reference, I can full screen this, but that's full screen in 640 by 480. Which means I will not be able to see anything else, because my other monitor will also be forced in 640 by 480, which means I will not be able to keep up with chat. Or anything else. So, this is suboptimal at best. So what I eventually did was add a specific to-the-moon capture, which captures a 480 at 640 by 480 corner. Why don't you just adjust one of the monitor's resolutions down to 640 by 480? Because that still butchers a lot of things that I'm trying to keep track of, Smiley. So what I did instead... Sorry for the moving image that you're about to see. I have a stream open on my other screen. But I'm basically capturing the corner of my other monitor, specifically that corner. And then I have to the moon, specifically in that spot, in that corner. So that I create the effect of full screening the game. And then I am not actually playing the game in its own window. I just am mousing over on my other monitor whilst playing it in my OBS, so that I can also see what on earth I'm doing. This is genuinely the easiest way I've been able to find to get this to run. Basically, this engine is kind of wank. Yeah, it's the best I can do, but it keeps throwing me off a little bit because my brain is saying my mouse arrow is on my main monitor, whilst it's actually over there. Because the capture is just capturing where my mouse arrow is on the to the moon window. Normally, I just go capture the game, using the game capture function, but sadly, this particular engine doesn't work with that feature in OBS. So basically, the options are jury-rigging, or jury-rigging. What else can you do? Be that as it may, this is still a game that I absolutely adore. For all my bitching about the game's engine, and it is a lot of bitching about the game's engine, the primary thing is simply this game be yay. This game be lots yay. And to those of you who are new to this game, go play this. Seriously. Actually stop watching this stream, even though I don't want you to, but actually stop watching this screen or lower the volume or something so you don't spoil yourself, and play this game. And fair enough, Evie. Enjoy the trick-or-treating. Regards to the kiddo, and have a nice look. I shall continue the game now. After being called a bastard. I know. It's a shame, though. All these nice memories lost and never found. And who knows how many more like it. Well, as you say, just take it moment for moment, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, shit, I told you packs of tigers dwell here. I already had him shot. God, my arm is killing. Hello! Wait, don't go! Sorry, pouring tea, you know it is. It's the most important daily activity I have. I'm Johnny. What's your name? You're at my spot. Your spot. Sorry. Your spot? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hog this place all to myself. You want to join me? Are you here to watch the stars? Are you? Also, by the way, Smiley, I honestly have no idea if I can actually reduce one of my monitors to 640 by 480. I think it'd play merry hell with them because they're widescreen. I honestly don't think there's a non-widescreen resolution I can quickly set them to. Anyway. Just look at them. Did you know there were so many lights in the sky? Yes. Oh, I did too. You said this was your spot, right? Only during the carnival. Not a fan of the crowd? Me neither. You know, you still haven't told me your name yet. I'm not telling you. Everyone makes fun of it in school. Why? They say it makes them want to go to the washroom. Okay then. Well, it can't be worse than John. I mean, everyone in the world, nearly everyone's named John. Even in India? Probably. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with having a name that everyone has? Well, it's boring, I guess. I mean, if everyone has it, then what's the point? I wouldn't mind. Just for once, to have the same name everyone else has. It's like those lights in the sky. They all look the same from here, but that doesn't make them any less pretty. Yeah, I suppose. What do you think those stars up there are, anyways? My dad said they're giant burning spheres of gas. Oh, I bet he's just making it up. Why would he lie to me? Because, you know, that's what grown-ups do. They make things up. You know, earlier, I thought there was a weird bird sprite stuck here, but it's literally just the down arrow for a text box to advance it. Santa, Easter Bunny, kangaroos, stuff like that. Yeah, I have absolutely no problem with the name River. Have you ever made an Easter Bunny out of stars? Like a constellation? Yes. Of other things, never tried a rabbit though. Do you want to make one? Yeah, we'll make the bestest constellation ever. Let's see who makes one out first. Okay, we'll start in 3. 3, 2, 1, and start. I see it. Where? In the sky. But where in the sky? Think big. Bigger than all the others. I don't know. Wait a minute. Wait a minute! I see it! Tell me what you see. There, right? There are the 2 ears and head. What else? And there's its 2 feet. Yes, what else? And the moon! The moon's its big round belly. Remember River asking what else constantly? Exactly, Hunt. Oh yeah, it is about break time. So, what do you think they really are? The stars, I mean. I've never told anyone, but I've always thought they were lighthouses. Billions of lighthouses stuck at the far end of the sky. Wow, it must be so lively up there. But it isn't. They can see all the other lighthouses out there and they want to talk to them. But they can't, because they're all too far apart to hear what the others are saying. All they can do is shine their lights from afar. So that's what they do. They shine their lights at the other lighthouses and at me. Why you? Because one day I'm gonna befriend one of them. That bag, what's in it? Oh, it's the prize I won from Whack-A-Mole. Did you get to play that game? I tried, but I'm too clumsy. What did you get from it? I got a thing. I don't really know what it is. It's some kind of weird duck beaver thing. May I see it? It looks so strange. I wish I could win one myself. Sorry, didn't facepalm. Mosquito landed on my forehead. Sadly, I don't think I killed it. Johnny! Ding! That's Mark calling. Here. You know what? Keep it. It's yours. Mine? Yeah, I can always get another. I don't like to brag, but I'm totally the best at that game. Will you be here next year? Yep. Will you? Yes. Same place, same time? Yes. What if you forget or get lost? Then we can always regroup on the moon, silly. Right on the rabbit's tummy. Johnny! Coming! Oh yeah, I forgot my hacky sack in the bag. You said you're clumsy, right? Maybe it'll help. Yeah, these games never cease to make me feel. If they ever get lost? Wait, does that mean... Don't tell me you didn't see that coming. And here I thought this was going to be an inspirational childhood dream story. Should have known that some girl would come along and turn it into a cheese fest. I suppose now we know what we must do to send him to the moon. Wait, you aren't actually going to do it, are you? Well, find out next time on this stream after my break. I'll be back in a couple minutes, but I do want to quickly take my break. So yeah, have yourself the usual stretch, drink, and snack. I'll see you all momentarily. And I return. Also, let me minimize this because it will now be overlaying the game a bit. Let me see. I have this. I have the chat. Yes, excellent. But yeah. Neil isn't entirely okay with going through with this plan, given that it involves doing a few rather drastic things to Johnny's memories. It's our job, Neil. It's what we're contracted to do. Damn it, Eva, wait! Eva. I know you are in here. Where Johnny and River are to regroup if they get lost from each other. This is all your fault. Turn around. Neil, I know what you're planning to do. I know that you know. Yeah? Well, I know that you know that I know. Look, our contract is to send him to the moon. And the only way for that to happen is if Johnny is motivated to do so. But if that means removing River, then what's the point? The reason why he even wants to go to the moon in the first place is because she died. I know, but we are legally bound by the contract to specifically... Fuck the contract! I didn't take this job to make him miserable, Eva. I don't know about you, but I signed up to help the freaking geezers die happy. Me too, and I like this job. But if we directly go against our legal obligations, we'd be in for court hearings. We'll appeal. We know that Johnny'd be happier not to go to the moon. Johnny would be happier with a lot of alternate life tangents, Neil. We're not here to play God. Our job is to give him what he signed for. Well, we happen to know what he wants better than he does. Look, I'm only risking losing River because I believe in her and... What do you mean, risk? You're removing her! And besides, I will make up for it. Make up for it how? We're running out of time. Just trust me. In this case, however, I can understand her just trust me. Because they really are out of time. Johnny is going to die in moments, essentially. Wait, why is it a hell of a lead for Neil? Says the one who pushed me off a fucking lighthouse! Did you just... Freaking light data. Abusing your powers doesn't disable my controls entirely, Eva. Because he is assuming the memories of this... Or alternatively, you're assuming that this technology doesn't actually accurately display the memories. Which puts us in a very nice run-around discussion that really won't go anywhere. why not both? You know what, I'm going to commit a cardinal sin here, and to each their own. Yeah, I know I'm being a jerk about this, but it feels like overthinking again, and I've been to Overthinkville way too much of late. Booby trap? Really, Eva? Just trying to buy some time. Gee, thanks for telling me. That is remarkably conclusive. Those are some expensive pieces of equipment you're tossing. Seriously, just stay put and wait till I'm done. Oh, piss off. Look, don't make me exit this whole thing and unplug you. Would you really risk distorting his memories as they are? Just stop trying, please. This won't take long. Ugh, not again. Or come and find me at the end of the hall. Oh, you've got to be freaking Is this a joke to you, Eva? Dear Lord, they aren't just zombie Evas. They're zombievas. Don't come any closer. I got plans. Oh, shit. I shouldn't have gone here. I just got myself stuck. Phew, these things are good for something after all. I love how it gets more and more absurd with every reiteration of this room. This whole thing is just a loop. Oh, fuck this. What the... Yes, alternatively, the memories were clearly corrupted. The device couldn't display them correctly because of the corruption. They resolved the corruption, and thus the accurate re-representation could be re-established. Oh, shit, fuck. Sorry, I had to mute desktop audio for something. Sorry, folks. But again, it's just speculations ranging a bit far afield, in my view. Eva? What happened? Eva? It's not necessarily too wrong, I just feel... I don't know, it just feels like I'm dead. I've been overthinking way too much lately, and that my brain is just a bit too primed for just going, I could go into massive circles about, yeah, you could be assuming, and then you could be assuming, but it could also be assuming that it is an assumption on the part of the assumption that assumes the assumption. Or I could just continue the story. I know it's a little bit of a buzzkill. I'm not going to say otherwise. I've just been in Overthinkville too much lately, I think. That's not on you. That's very much on me. I'm not trying to stop you from having the debate either. I just... Yeah, I guess I'm just a bit of a killjoy on the topic just now, sorry. Anyway. What else? Billions of lighthouses stuck at the far end of the sky. Oh, the whole construct's messed up. It's finished, River. She won't be alone anymore. What is it like? Just the responsibilities, I suppose. Yeah, this seems perfectly stable. I just don't want to be another typical kid in a sea of typical people, Nick. Yeah, these are all fragments from memories we've seen before. Oh, you should have seen the end to, whatchamacallit? Space Pilgrim Academy. Now that screamed nightmarish hellscape. It'd help you understand her condition. I'd rather not. Why is that? Oh. Does she have anything to say? No, it's just the same conversation again. Road. Wait, what happens if I leave this room now? Hello! Wait, don't go! I'm Johnny. What's your name? You spot? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hog this place all for myself. That's a rather grim room to enter. I didn't see this last time. Oh no, the Emperor's New Clothes has nothing to do with that. That book has been present throughout. It's River's favourite book. But I can't reach that clock. I think the marker of it being a memory traversal point is kind of broken. She's controlling the simulation, but she's using fragments from all over Johnny's memories to do so. Because she's basically been using fragments throughout. And yeah, this is partly the comic book store and the bookstore where they found the book in the first place. Look, it was a long time ago. There's no date or time, Johnny. Hello, Neil. Morpheus? What? It's Eva, you idiot. No shit, we're the only ones here. Listen, whatever you've been doing, stop it. We might not know what Johnny wants, but we know what he doesn't want. And what he doesn't want is exactly what you're accelerating. It's already done, Neil. Why don't you come out now? Bye. Nothing appears to be interactable. What did you do to her? Relax, she's merely going elsewhere. You know, it's one thing to disable my controls to feed me some olives. But this is way out of line. I'm sorry, but this just won't go anywhere if I keep on resetting the memory. At this point, this is the only way. I'm asking you to trust me. So please, just calm down and wait here. And just pull the trigger already. Where are you going? And there's just one last thing I need to do. Poser. There's no need to visualize a door. What's with all this melodrama, Neil? Why are you fighting so hard for this? Forget it, there's no time. Everything'll be alright, man. Just turn around. Okay, okay. Hey, what are you... Shh. Hello? Sorry, kid. It's already started. Come on, they're gonna hog all the good tables. They're all the same sheesh. Nah, Joe's right. The ones by the kitchen smell better. Guess who's back? Totally! An olive refills and just steps away. Ugh, olives. Saving him doesn't justify it. You can always find another river, Neil. But we only have one brother. Come on, we're in the way.
Short steps, deep breath. Everything is alright. Chin up, I can't step into the spotlight. She said, I'm sad, somehow without any words. I just stood there, searching for an answer. When this world is no more, the moon is all we'll see. I'll ask you to fly away with me until the stars
It's astounding how well they've managed to convey this with purely sprite objects.
He said, I can't really seem to read you.
Dr. Watts has an incredibly insightful statement on that topic next game, Troll.
Stood there, never know what I should do. When this world is no more, the moon is all we'll see. I'll ask you to fly away with me until the stars all fall down. They empty from the sky, but I don't mind. If you're with me, then everything's alright. If you're with me, then everything's alright.
They use this engine. For all my bitching about this engine, my god, he made it work. You actually made it, huh? You sound surprised. Whatever happened to we always succeed because we're awesome? This isn't a success. Oh, lighten up. We're in NASA. I don't have much time left. Let's at least check this place out. Please wait here. Someone will come and show you around shortly. Also, to answer your question about getting into a host of trouble about this, Brian, into the way that things are being handled, Neil certainly feels some mental trouble over it, but legally speaking, they're ironclad because Eva is actually fulfilling the contract. Jeez, he really likes this backpack. How pathetic, all this trouble just for some girl. That's what I thought you'd say, Neil. How pathetic, all this trouble just for some girl. There you go, good to have you back. Yeah. We don't have the time to just stare at him. Apparently I need to find a memory link. I guess I missed something in the first room. Nothing seems interactable though. Am I blind? I'm probably blind. To the Moon, a story about a lame duck's attempt to become an astronaut, a novel by Joey Wiles. So even in fake memories, Joey's a bit of a dick. I can't believe this crap actually sold. This isn't the real world, Neil. There we go. Well, that's the whole point of the devices that they're using. Is it me, or is this elevator smaller on the inside? Well, aren't we philosophical? This is the Mission Control Center. There's not much going on now, but you'll see it live one day. I half expected to see Zordon on that screen. It's not here. What? Let's just go. Alright, third floor. So, do you think last century's moon landing was... Let's not, Neil. Let's not. Well, there we go. This actually plays 1 century after the original moon landings, it seems. Well, technically, it could just be the 21st century. He said last century's moon landing, so it could also be in 2001. Technically still accurate, after all. I mean, sure, it's unlikely, but it's still possible. Basically, what I'm saying here is, we could assume a lot. Yes, I am being an asshole now. And here's the centrifuge. If you're lucky, you'll learn to hate it one day. Ah, yes, the spinny thingy. It's not here either. What are you talking about? Come on, we don't have long left. Your records are excellent, but we'll have to monitor your status closely in the coming sessions. Hi, Hendrix. I hope the real NASA has bigger elevators. Just going through the conclusion of To the Moon, and once again, holy mother of mercy, why do these selection menus kill the game's ability to do anything? Again, the stream is not dying. It's literally just the moment a selection menu happens, mouse controls commit horrendous suicide. It doesn't really matter that much, Hunt. It just baffles me a bit. Only 19 more days? Right, Endwalker. And going to the moon. Wait, we're going to the moon in Endwalker? The more you know. The shuttle's still under heavy maintenance. We may only view it from here for now. I'm a short ways into Stormblood. I don't even know how far into Stormblood I am. For reference, I literally just got the mission to find Lord Hien in the something step area thing. How far in am I? Third of the way? Halfway? Cassie is the one who'd best answer this, but she prefers to stay away from this game and its subtext. About this far, thanks, Troll. The shuttle's still under heavy maintenance. We may only view it from here for now. This isn't good. Perhaps there's someone we missed. You need to work on your communication skills. A third to half. Okay. No. Whoa. Yeah. You know what's the best part of it? What? The very top and bottom of the shuttle. I have to agree. Oh, how I pity anyone who can't see those particular parts. Also, they occasionally break the fourth wall, like a bunch of assholes. To be honest, I don't mind jokes like this, because this is really heavy, and this... just a small little joke like this is a good tension breaker. Indeed. Especially its nose at the top. When maintenance finishes, it probably won't look the same. Yeah, now's the only time. Arseholes. Ah, so I'm a little bit ahead then. I am already level 67. Oops, I'm already on the 4th floor. Okay, I have 4 memory links. Excuse me. Christ, that actually made my jaw crack. Ah. I wonder if the real NASA looks like this. Probably not. It's constructed in part with Johnny's beliefs, after all. I love that detail, by the way. Ah, yes. A wiki of existing facts tainted by personal fairy tales. It's odd, though, to hear birds and see none. Excuse me. Sorry, Neil. I really thought there was a good chance. What? Well, you're seeing basically the ending, and I already know this game, and it is absolutely goddamn excellent. In fact, if you want to play it yourself, I very much recommend it, and recommend dropping into Lurk. Genuinely. To the Moon is an excellent series. It genuinely is. It's some of the best writing I know. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that's not the point, Beliar. His memories and his mind constructed, I went to NASA and to the Moon with the help of the machine, so... They don't particularly... The detail is just he went to NASA. And there is a shuttle there that took me to the Moon. Here's David. He's a mission specialist. Nice to meet you. At least he got into NASA, I guess. You think he made it to the end? Even if he did, it'd take more than just a few years to become an astronaut. Let's hurry and find the last link, then. I believe that's currently called the Breath of the Wild. Although there is a Breath of the Wild 2 on the way. I am very funny. I lost my mouse arrow. There we go. I'd hate to miss the finale. What's going on? Are we out of time? I don't know. Neither do I. I can assume that it takes a couple years training. Ah, and here's our other new recruit. River, right? Good to have you on board. See? Eva does care. Hello, I'm John. Phew. I almost thought she would... What the fuck, Eva? But you deleted her! No, I told you, I just moved her. What she does with her life here is still up to her. But this new world? It's based on public data and Johnny's own beliefs. And since River's data as an individual is not recorded in the public domain, it all comes from Johnny. But even then, that merely increases the odds. How were you sure that it'd work? I wasn't. It could have gone very badly, you know. You were never one to take risks, Neil. Let's just say I won this round. We still have the 2 spare helmets, right? I think Johnny'd appreciate some company. Not really something you'd expect to find at NASA, but in his mind there might be a music hall for those interested. He wrote it himself, apparently. Rather repetitive, if you ask me, though. I've never really understood why everyone in the game goes, it's just 2 notes and it's rather repetitive. This is an incredibly good arrangement. What's it called? To the Moon. I like that name. Only the intro plays on those 2 notes, and it is based on the 2 notes, but the arrangement itself is vastly more complex. Oh, there you are. You two should go get some rest. Tomorrow's the big day. Be an astronaut too, Dad.
One day, son, you just might. Meh.
Did you think they'd make it? Did you? No. The way she is, I didn't think she'd succeed. I guess I was wrong.
All the better then, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm happy for them. You know, that's my brother in that shuttle. Wow! Yep, I once read a book about this too. With a less optimistic ending. I might have to change that after all. Hey, Dr. Watts, right? Thank you for letting us in here.
Yeah. Eva's the one who requested it.
Did you find out why he wanted to go to the moon?
Sure.
And what all happened here? Let's just say it was a bunch of sappy cheese that sorted itself out. I'm glad that I'm here to see him off. Thank you. It might be in Johnny's memory. You know, there were quite a few times last night when I thought we lost Johnny. I think he consciously held on to wait for him to. He's rather patient then. I just hope it's worth the wait. Go on now, your colleague's waiting. Thought this might be a good view. Good enough to cut off the traffic, eh? Sure, even if they were real. Well, this is it. All we've worked for? Ready to initiate it? Come on, man.
Why?
Why not? You're just gonna push me off the ledge again, aren't you? Probably. But the view's worth the odds. Come on. I have absolutely no idea. Because one day, I'm going to befriend one of them. I've just never launched a rocket beforehand. I like the little high five. No, I've never launched a rocket. At most a fireworks arrow, but I don't think that really counts. Yeah, this game really does get me. In many ways, the game is mostly just what is sometimes derogatorily termed a walking simulator, but it is so absurdly well crafted, incredibly well written. Yeah, this is one of those games that hits me right in the feels, no problem whatsoever. It is genuinely a work of absolute excellence. And it is nice to know that the sound effects were done by Gnifflebuff. I am sorry, I saw that name and I could not make a remark. Here he is! Thanks. Off you go now. Still can't believe Johnny just willed the house to Lily like that.
Who else was there to give it to? Us?
Terrible place for burials, though. If there's a landslide, they'd just be swimming with the fishes. Still a little too soon.
Nah, it's never soon enough.
Nice new ringtone. Hello, Ava here. We're on our way.
New patient?
New patient.
Let's roll.
Yeah, he's fine.
Oh, don't worry, I bought this soundtrack as soon as I could. On Steam, admittedly, and not on Bandcamp, but still, I bought this soundtrack as soon as I possibly could. Freebird Games deserves, well, not all of my money, because I would like to live and eat, but they definitely deserve all of the support.
Oh, that closes the game in its entirety. Well, now you get to see a bit of Mario.
I haven't been paying attention to that at all, by the way.
Right, that leaves us with a bit of decision time, obviously, because, well, the game is finished. I have about an hour left in the stream. I could go for the, literally a bit of Mario. No, I was having a quick look at ESA, the European Speedrunners Association. They're doing an event they call Break the Record Live, and basically just a race to see who can get the best 70-star Super Mario 64 run in a weekend.
It's quite fun to watch, although at the moment I just had it open because I already had it open before going live.
But yeah, there is the intermittent game hunt, but I'm not sure if I can bang that out in an hour.
Plus, there are 2 mini episodes. Pardon me.
Remember, To the Moon came with 2 mini episodes, and then Finding Paradise had its own sub mini episode, which I think was even separately is a separate game in my playlist, actually. A bird story, wasn't it? Do the intermittent game. You can just start from there next game. I think it might be better to do the mini episodes first, because they follow on directly from the moon. To the moon, sorry. And then as soon as the 2 mini episodes are done, a bird story and then Finding Paradise. Because a bird story kicks in straight to, the backstory of Finding Paradise. And who knows, maybe I'll enjoy it more this time with more context. Yeah, then I'll start with the first minisode, which is probably going to be another case of all my windows are going to get fucked up. Let's find out. Yep. It's full screen. I can't see anything anymore. Phenomenal. Dragging a bunch of windows around. I am so glad they were willing to go to a different engine for the later games. One moment, I need a screen cap. Wrong screen cap. This was actually a holiday special at the time. See, all I need now is my chat, which is still in the right place. Nice. Not everyone agrees with what Sigmund Corp is doing, in case you were wondering. Could rant about Kingdom Hearts 3 for an hour. No, I mean, I could do it, but I don't want to. But yeah, these don't take place in someone's memories. These are literally just a case of the daily lives of the Sigmund Corp employees. Anyway. Hey, Ava. Come to my office. I've got some... Neil, where are you? The meeting started an hour ago! What? Wait, there's no meeting today. Yeah, and I'm not dumb. Twice in one day. Really? Besides, that's actually dangerous. What if it hits my head without tipping over? But you still made it hit my head! That's different. Yours is pretty thick. Well, I still got you once. Excuse me for giving you a chance to even the scores. But seriously, drop by. I actually do have something to show you. Just give me a few first. You gonna go say hi to them at the party downstairs? No, Cassie. I finished off To the Moon, which made me emotional. And now we're in the mini episodes that follow up on the To the Moon, the main game. These are more a case of the real life of Dr. Rosalind and Dr. Watts without doing any cases for terminal patients.
and essentially showing life at work, and especially the fact that there are a lot of ethical complications with the whole memory-altering business, and thus the problems with that. Maybe later. Grab me a drink if you go. Office of Dr. Eva Roslin. Sorry to hear that you were feeling unwell, though. Office of Dr. Neil Watts. But yeah, since I have about an hour left in the stream, I was kind of debating whether to start this mini-episode or to just call it early for once, but I figured calling it early is a little bit bullshit. Welcome to the various doctors at work here. Excuse me. No, calling it early would have been a terrible, terrible idea. Also, I've said it before and I'll say it again. This music. Also, the screen tearing is really bad. Give me a moment. Now I need to find my mouse arrow again. And I lost it again. Seriously, why is there no mouse arrow here? Oh, there we go. Yay, good old keyboard and mouse controls. We were making jokes about each other's nationality for some reason. I don't even remember in detail. Yes, this is genuinely Office of Dr. Timer Macmillan, Dr. Eddie Doyle, Dr. Washroom. And I would put money on Neil Watt being the one who's put that up. Yeah, I was being insulted because Tunamods mentioned that he had a big announcement for a big upcoming project. Because I am genuinely considered a valued part of the program, and I still have no idea how that happened, but there you go, I am privy to knowing what the big announcement for the next big thing for Tunamods is. Cassie really wanted to know what the big... Okay, I'm going to stop that now. But what the announcement was. Since I was told very explicitly to keep it under my hat, I have kept it under my hat. And then Cassie called me you inklog wearing tulip or something along those lines. And someone saw that in stream chat, and... Give me 2 seconds, I need to grab it. Let me turn off the To The Moon screen cap for a second. And let me get my notifications, that's the quickest way. Well, just for general use. Because not everyone will have seen it. This then happened. Screen cap, where are you? So yeah, that's me now, apparently. Let me get this back. Sorry, this is just a really catchy track, okay? I just need it as an icon to... No. I have enough channel memes. Actually... Hey, it's not ready yet! Fine, Jesus. Yeah, Kazi immediately went, they're going to voice Trails, or Final Fantasy IX. Can I practice Moogles? And I just gave her a non-committal smile, because, you know. What? I just remembered, could you also get me some cake with that drink? How do you know there'd be cake? Sorry, I lost, sorry to hear that. Headaches are never fun. Yeah, admittedly, Kazi, I was talking about it with Tuna, and Tuna did say, so what did people guess when they were DMing you about the big announcement? And I did say, well, Kazi thinks it'd be Final Fantasy IX or Trails. And the discussion did come round to, wait, you said she's Scottish. Admittedly, she'd be hilarious. An angry Scot would be hilarious as the angry Moogle that's on the world map. So, you know, he made the same realization I did. I'm sharpening my knife! Cool paw. There you go. I mean, if you're going to have a Moogle saying, I'm sharpening my blade, Kupo, you might as well have it in an angry Scottish accent. Let's be honest. There are worse ways to handle that than having it in an angry Scottish accent. Also, I just love the concept of a Scottish Moogle. Where the fuck would Scotland be? I'm sharpening my knife! I don't know, it wouldn't work that well in angry German. Angry Irish. I'm sharpening my knife. I don't know. Or just drunken Irish. If he does do Echo 9, I am so asking for the same Moogle. Yeah, I can't fault you, Kazi, and I would actually be staggered if you didn't ask for it. But yeah, the big announcement that Tsunamod said, he's teasing it in the sense that that next big project is going to be after Final Fantasy VII voicing is more or less complete, or at least in a much further state than it is now. Because taking on multiple huge projects is just very difficult. Keep your clothes on, Kazi. But that's fair enough. Hi, Prep.
Hello,
Sorry.
I am tired.
I figured you'd be tired, but thank you so much for the sub. Let me quickly finish up my thread of thought, because I'm very easy to derail today. But yeah, basically, Tsunamod said, I'm keeping the announcement to myself until it's time that we're ready, or until we reach partner status. So if Tsunamods can get partnered, everyone, I mean I already know, but everyone else gets to find out. Until that time, I'm keeping my mouth shut. Yeah, Tsunamods is a lot of fun. Also, yes, what did you do? Yeah, I am now 5 NPCs in Final Fantasy VII. It was actually supposed to be 4, but there was a mislabeling for an NPC who turned out to be a completely different thing, so now I have 5 characters. Number 5 isn't technically character, it's an AI voice in a submarine, but, you know, it's the thought that counts. Well, if nothing else, Eric, I can give you a yell on Discord whenever Tsunamod is doing an NPC recording night, because what he basically does is he invites you to the Discord, you go into the waiting room, and he drags you up one by one, talks with you, wants to know what your voice style and voice color is, and then tries to coach you to a non-criminal effort for an NPC in question. Final Fantasy VII's been in progress for a long time, though, because, there's only going to be minor NPC roles. All the big roles had been taken ages ago, and I only discovered the project a couple of weeks ago, thanks to Who Dares X, actually. You know, the bit spammer. Yeah, and Junon is already almost done. Kazi, you have no idea how I was sitting in my chair that first time that I arrived at Tsunamod. Because Tsunamod Who Dares raided Tsunamod, knowing that the NPC night was there, and went, dude, you should be doing this. And I was terrified. Because taking initiative is already something I am not exactly a master at. And then taking initiative of getting into a voice call with someone and doing voice lines for a good project, and Have you ever tried making 34 full menus when 7 were ordered and 12 people are waiting for dessert? That sounds stressful. But yeah, I was genuinely sitting there in my chair going, I would have kicked your ass if you didn't go for the voice line. I am insanely happy that I did, but I was nervous as hell to hell and back again. I have enough confidence in my voicing that I knew that I wouldn't do a non-criminal job at least, that I'd do a non-criminal job at it at least, but I was terrified of just going, yeah, you know what, it's a bit flat, I'd suggest something like this, and so on and so forth, and that I just wouldn't be able to get anywhere. I was basically nightmare mode. I was genuinely going, still weird. Yeah, I can imagine. That'll always throw you for a loop for a bit, Prep. But yeah, I am absolutely delighted that I did it. I am really glad that I did it. But yeah, I am glad that you're doing better, Prep. And game time, fair enough. But yeah, I'm really glad to have discovered Tsunamod and their community. Heck, it's got me a ton of follows as well. Yeah, it's essentially exposure. It may very well lead to something. But at the moment, this is a fan project, and I'm treating it as such. And that's not derogatory, it's just a case of... Jesus Christ. And that's back to... Now? 50 minutes? Times sub bank time. No! Read what he just said, Tad. Having had a day where I've already done a lot of biking today. Honestly, I cycled for about an hour today. Do you want to claim it now, or do you want to claim it later on? It's your call. I will do as you direct. And whilst I let you ruminate on that briefly, Shadowleaf TV, One Man, Eevee, Sinrix, You're Born to Die, Sweezy, Pause RPG, Chub Cheeks, Mario 150, and CDN Student. I hope you enjoy your stay. You cycled to the Hells. Yes, I did. Later on would still be today. I suppose. Wait, what? You want to claim it today, then, I assume, because then I might as well grab the bike now. Also, shoot me. 50 minutes gonna kill me, you know that, right? Oh. But yes, I did cycle to the Elsie Marathon. It was at the house of a friend. Oh, that's going to make this tricky to play, actually, because, you know, this doesn't work with controllers very well. I'm saying today because I might not be here next week, but let's keep it at half an hour, because I can load it up. I mean, it's always nice to have a sword of Damocles hanging over your head permanently, isn't it? All right. Get up, baby. Let's get this thing. Wait, how did I literally ask for this? I didn't even request any donations or subs. This came out of nowhere. Oh, Jesus Christ, I nearly smacked into my desk. Come on, there you go, locked in. We know the secret signs, you do? I'm likely getting an NVM. Nice, those are good. Those are excellent. Right. I want my tea. I definitely want my tea. Christ, I already showered just before stream. Oh, well, 2 showers today. I'm just pouring my third cup of tea, pardon me, so I can have it right here. Close at hand, as it were. I'm aware. Actually, let me put this in the fridge quickly because this is nearly empty, and if you leave this little bit of milk out too long, it's going to curdle. You got that? I got what? The fact that it's half an hour now? Yeah, I knew. Right, I can't actually walk here because there's a big fuck-off desk chair in the way, and I'm very smart. How much of my random rambling as I walk through the house can you guys hear, actually? Fair enough, and good, because I was definitely rambling for your benefit. Let me get the correct camera. Cycling with Kim. Let me get my chat back. Let me full screen this. And I suppose try to figure out how to controller control this. Oh, no. Of fucking course. It's always a knot in the wiring, isn't it? Come on, you can do it. SSD is sadly dying. Oh, that always sucks. Sorry, I'm a martyr to dying technology at the moment. Okay, how the fuck did you move out of alignment? Since yesterday. I haven't even touched my computer. Seriously, I need a better webcam setup for this shit. That's not a sheep pillow, that's a pom from the Trails games. I will show it to you up close for a discount of 5 minutes of biking. No, I wouldn't do that, I'm not a clown. Right, resetting the time. And starting now. Also, Troll, are you still here? Because I'd like to immediately verify for you, Troll. Button 1 is not A. I don't know what button 1 is, but it is definitely not the A button. It's the X button, because this makes sense. There's always cake, and I want it. Well, pick one, I'm not the waitress. Right, so which is it? Button 1 on Xbox controllers is always X. Oh, that makes sense. Four, oh, two, three. What? 4, 1, 2, 3, I assume you mean? So A is button 3. I have a cat pillow. Okay, so 4 is Y. God, that's an absurd lineup. Neil? I'm thinking! Look, I gotta go. I'll call you back. Oh, hey, Eva. I'll find out eventually. Roxy? You alright? Huh? Oh, well... we went outside to get something from the car and... well, you know. Them again, huh? Well, it is that time of the year. Look, don't tell the others, okay? I don't want everyone to be all tensed up about it. Maybe it'll be all cleared by the time everyone leaves. I hope so. Come on, let's go see what the others are up to. Is the audio quality on the mic good, by the way, or is it too soft now? Too soft. Let's see if I can move it a bit closer then. You're not even attached to the bike wire. How did you fall over, you piece of shit? I'm fine. I just need a better goddamn webcam setup. Crotch. I like how Prep just goes for the floor and you two immediately go for the groin. I wonder what that says about you two. Oh. Piece of fucking unwieldy crap from hell. Just stay in the... I want to do this. I love doing this. This webcam is the best. Okay, how's this? Let's see. No, that is horrendous. This is the joyousest joy of my life. Why won't you just stay? Please stay. What? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, come on. Why are people still persecuting me with that? Okay. I am visible and I am cycling. I rather suspect the feeling's mutual, Brian. You know what, Prep? I'm incredibly grateful for all 2 of those years. Despite the fact that it's causing me more sweat than strictly necessary, I'm still very grateful. You just threw 10 gift subs at me out of bloody nowhere. How could I not be grateful? Since we have a full house today, Eddie was allowed to drink, but now he won't stop talking. Maybe he just needs someone to listen. Yeah, that's what I fear the most. Hey, Shadow Leaf, good to see you. In case you're wondering what in the 7 hells I'm doing, this is one of my donation incentives that I regret. I'm on an exercise bike. But welcome to the channel. And doing this in a wizard's robe is genuinely the stupidest idea anyone could ever have. But you know, I stream in robes, so here we are. The only problem I've got is cycling into a gale earlier and getting absolutely soaked seems to have done a bit of a number on my knees. Oh Jesus Christ, can someone ban the buy-follow, asshole? Thank you. What do they expect to accomplish, really? Am I the only one who's kind of baffled by these things? I mean, I have never seen a single stream where someone goes, "Oh, that sounds like a good idea. I could use some more followers." I mean, just how bereft of your own wits do you have to be to genuinely think that that is a legitimate thing? It just sort of beggars belief to me. And maybe I'm being an elitist here, but it genuinely baffles me. Enjoy, Brian. Yeah, my knees kind of hurt, which is kind of a first. Maybe I just overdid it on my bike earlier today. Cycling into a gale and into heavy rain really did not help my mood earlier. Yeah, I mean, there's clearly a business model there, otherwise it wouldn't keep happening for months and months on end. You know what bugs me, Lisa? We can alter memories, and I can neither make my hair as buoyant as Logan's nor as silky as yours. Yeah, it's a tragedy. Nice hat. Ava, my dear! Good afternoon, Taylor. You know, you never responded to that email I sent you about my nephew. I attached a photo of him and everything. Thanks, but I'm just not looking. Oh. It's that boy Neil, isn't it? Of all the people she'd be looking into for marriage prospects, it's definitely not Dr. Mia Watts, however well they work together. What? No! I like to keep my personal and professional life separate. Wow, then that's just one more reason why my nephew is perfect for you. You two are going to be so happy together. Let me know if you ever change your mind about my nephew, dear. He's a catch. Is that drink alcoholic? I've no clue. That was a terrible laugh, but in my defense, I'm slightly out of breath. Hey, Ava. Hey, how'd that last mission go? I heard you guys ran into some complications. It was fine. Bureaucracy just got in the way. But I'm trying to forget about work now. I saw that pop-up. I can't check it now, but preemptively thank you, whoever you were. And if it is who I suspect it is, are you still going down the list in order of when I added them? Well, I'm trying to forget about work now. There's enough of that around later. Tom and I are discussing our taste in early Baroque paintings. They're all good. Yes. Yes, they are. Hey, well, it looks like Logan's pulling a move on your girl over there. Wait, what? She ain't going anywhere. Oh, I don't know, Willis. Logan does sing like an angel. I do? Yeah, Willis. And I heard he's an exquisite dancer, too. I am? Well, I've got 3 strands of hair on my head, and each one of them is willing to fight him in the parking lot. Oh, Jesus, thank you, Brett. Okay, this is getting too weird for me. Look, I know it's hard not to think about it, but worrying doesn't fix anything. I know, but what was your last patient's wish? Huh? Oh, well, she wished to see the world. And did she? Yeah, we took her all over. I even caught glimpses of places that I haven't been to. She was so happy. It sounds like she would have really appreciated what you did for her. You helped a lot of people, Roxy. If they could speak to you, they'd all tell you. What's out there right now doesn't change that. I guess so. I do feel better thinking of that. Thanks, Ava. It's the holidays. Don't let it ruin the mood. Late night practice. Oh, Troll, you missed me pointing something out. This is the A button, it's not button 1. It turns out button 1 is X. But yeah, Prep decided to drop an absurd amount of subs on my face. There's an impossible game. Oh, the seller's unlisted it. Jesus, which game is it? What the crap am I supposed to do next? Right, press the X button instead of the A button, you complete fucking dunce. Neil? The line's busy. I'm afraid it doesn't ring any bells for me. try, but there's no water bucket this time. Is everything okay? You seem distracted. What? Yeah, it's all good. I'm fine. Anyways, I'm just about wrapping this up. I'll call you when it's done, Eva. Okay, back to work. You know what? I have come to the conclusion that it is quite hard to keep up voice variety like this. Patience is virtue, Eva! Translation, fuck off. Did I miss anything here? You should have seen Willis when he was young. What a stud! Where's he? In his office. I don't really know what he's up to. As per usual, I see. I wish I had hair so buoyant that wearing a hat would make it a concealed weapon. Keep dreaming, Eddie. Is Neil cocooning himself in his office again? I think that's the right word for it. By the way, thanks for covering my double call yesterday, Willis. I heard it went well. Not much I haven't seen at this point. Been a hectic season, though. Don't you think you could use some, break time or two? Don't you worry about us. We've still got some kicks left in our old bones. Besides, some patients prefer us having practitioners with more life experience. Just be sure to take care, Willis. You've your limits too. Eva, I've peace of mind knowing that when the day comes, our fate will be in your hands. Hey, don't be so dark. I just love the feeling of crunchy snow under your feet. It's like popping bubble wraps from your boot. Can't wait for the next big snowfall. Person. Look out right now, Eva. I know, Roxy told me. Those persistent buggers. Looks like they're here to stay. Yeah? It's ready, Eva. Come over when you can. Don't tell the others, Eva. Maybe they'll disperse. I know, fingers crossed. Did we get everything we needed? Yeah. Yeah, my knees are actually starting to hurt a bit. If it's all the same with you, Prep, I think I'm going to have to cut it off shortly because I don't want to do myself a mischief. Yeah, I will. I'm going to go on until at least 20 minutes because I'm close to that. Shut the door. Why? Because I'm supposed to be using this computer for work, remember? If Rob saw, he'd be all like, slacking off again, Neil, there. What is that? Here, have my seat. Remember that? Please tell me you folded it yourself. Like that, there were hundreds of them. Yes, he actually stole one of the origami bunnies. Besides, it's not like Lily and the kids have any use for them anyhow. And what good is it to you? Jump-starting your memory, for one. Now, launch that program. I don't If I want to. Ah, come on, I worked hard on it. I love how utterly amateurish it looked. What? Ta-da! This is just plainly disrespectful. Huh, good for her, Cassie. Hey now, video games are an art form. They passed the laws decades ago. Yeah, but this might make them revoke it. Sticks and stones, Eva. You haven't even played it yet. Go on, try it. Yeah, I've hit the 20 minutes mark, Prep. I think I'm going to have to call it here because my knees genuinely hurt. And just as you say, stop when it hurts. Not going to take any stupid risk. Like I said, I think I might have overdone it earlier. Don't get stuck. That means you'll have 30 minutes to hang over my head, but at least I did 20. I'm actually kind of happy that I did that. Also, I'm sweating like a pig. Thank you, Hunt. But yeah, you get to hang that over my head like a sword of Damocles. Enjoy, Prep. Let me get the correct camera. Holy shit, I only look a little bedraggled, don't I? I love the fact that the backdrop is actually the lighthouse. Right. And yes, the Eva zombies exist. Looks familiar? I'm taking them off before the headset becomes a sweat sponge. That means I'm going to be deaf for a bit. How much damage do they do anyway? One heart, apparently. I also rather like that Neil actually included the backpack as the container for the heart. Now level a bit in Payday 2 and lurk. That is perfectly fair. Enjoy your lurk, Prep, and once again, thank you so much for the insane generousness. I'm really bad at this. Check the message. It should say 2014 or 2015. Oh, right, I can check the Steam message now. But fair enough, I will remember that I added it in May of 2014. And again, thank you so much. Can you stream Witcher? I mean, I suppose I could if I get round to it. I've never played the original 2 games, though. Will that matter? Fair enough. Well, if time permits. Pickled olives, folks. Yes, he hates them. I'm assuming that they have. Yep. How much of the story do you want to... I'm a story-focused gamer. As much as possible. In the meantime, I will keep playing this minigame. Oh yeah! Like a boss. Like a failure. Oh. Like a very smart boy who keeps going the wrong way. Oh. Fair enough. The game didn't die, just a pop-up window happened that blocked things. Once again, thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Gazzy. I used to make games like this when I was your age. Right, that'll do. What the? How cute! Is that floating head character you, Neil? How long have you guys been standing there? Seems like you've been slacking off again. Man, I told you he'd say that! Get out of my office, you guys. This is my private space. Shoo! Shoo! Welcome back, Shadowleaf. Ish. I had to cut it a little bit short because my knee started to hurt. It's been a busy day today. See, Eva, this is exactly what happens when you leave the door open. I mean, you're not wrong, Troll. But I am not going to injure my knees. I should just practice more often and more regularly. That's on me. I might as well go stretch my legs. Just realized you didn't get me a drink. You can keep on playing, though. I know. don't remember this one. I know. Oh, right, I think the two mirror each other and you need to go on the squares that have none of the junk on it. Something like that, at least. Yeah, that worked out reasonably well, I will give you that. I think I'm gonna die. There we go. I made it! And you're right, that actually works fairly well, Shadow Leaf. Whack-a-mole. To be honest, I really like what this says about Neil's character. I mean, the game itself is kind of silly, but it does show fairly clearly that he was very much affected by the event of To the Moon. However much he tries to affect an air of disinterest or uncaringness. Eva, did you... I don't get to drink my coffee. I guess I'll have to drink my tea. Christ, I'm Dr. Neil Watson. I can't even mess with a goddamn computer. Missed opportunity. Yeah, better to double check. Nobody said you weren't, Troll. And then you were all like, feel my hair! Feel it! Man, I'm never drinking more than a shot of beer again. Seriously, I made some of them my ringtone. Sorry about that earlier. Yeah, what happened earlier? You weren't there? Good, at least someone didn't see. But you were playing some game in your office again, huh? Rumors, clearly. Where'd the other guys go? Well, there's some time I left for home, and I don't really know where Robert went. I'm surprised nobody here got called today. It's nice to have a peaceful gathering. Yeah, we've already delayed the party because Lisa and Eddie got called in last week. And yet you still didn't come down to mingle with us. Psst, Neil!
Are you looking for Ava?
Yeah, how'd you know?
I just saw her down the hall looking upset.
Wait, why is that assumed to be my fault?
Well, when I look at your face, I get the feeling that you'd piss me off a lot if you were my partner. But I mean that in the nicest way.
In what way could that possibly be nice? Never mind. Look, thanks for the info. I'll go check upstairs. Oh, that's entirely fair, Cassie. I just stick with the incentives and go with what people demand/suggest. Wherever possible. And wherever health allows. Hey. You didn't finish the game.
I've played enough of it.
Don't tell me you're upset about the zombie evals. You made them yourself, don't you remember? And it was clearly a joke, sheesh. I'd ask when you'd become so uptight, but, you know.
Come over here, Neil.
Are you gonna punch me? I've been practicing my Kara Quadrun, you know. I'm telling you, my hands are like lightning. Even I can't contain my moves. Whoa.
Record show up, huh? Roxy said they've been gathering since morning.
That's quite some dedication for no pay.
When I signed up for this job, I thought it'd be respectable, fulfilling dreams and all. Those who'd thank us are the dead, and those who support us are the dying. You might not like how I do things, but I do them for the patient's sake. More often than I'd like for yours to save your sorry ass from getting fired.
Yeah, good job with that. It's a feat.
Do you think they're right? All those people out there, they're all standing for what they think is right.
Gee, I sure hope not. But hey, everybody has their beliefs. There are a lot of them, but don't forget that there are a lot of people with us too. Remember Lily? They aren't as outspoken because those who are content rarely find the need to bother. But we have to remember that they're out there, and remember each patient we've once visited. Remember how hard we tried and how they left this world with a smile in place of a frown. Sometimes that fleeting moment of shared happiness is all it takes to make it all worth it. To those of you thinking that Neil is just an insensitive jackass, very much not.
Are you drunk, Neil?
Hey, I'm just recycling Rob's BS here. Give me a break. He's still kind of an ass, but he definitely has feelings. But look, if what you're asking me, whether what we do matters, I guess it does.
For that brief fraction of a second before they press on. Is that enough for you? Sometimes I don't really know. How about you? Are you really happy doing this?
Hey, I'm just happy that we make a lot of dough. Don't know about you, but I'm totally ballin'. At the grocery, I'm all like, heck yeah, I'll shell out 5 cents for a plastic bag. Here's a quarter! That's how I roll.
You know, that game you made of it, it wasn't all terrible.
I'm listening.
I mean, the graphics are antique and the gameplay's a pushover, but I'm surprised you still remembered all that Johnny and River stuff.
Yeah, sorry about the zombie fuzz. But hey, you should have really played till the end. All the zombie of us rally together and become the heroes to save the day.
Really?
Totally! And they're like fireworks and pom-poms and all the Johnnies and Rivers chant your name.
I guess I should go finish it then.
Whoa, whoa, let's not be hasty. The game's not going anywhere. You can go finish it in 2 weeks. Hello? Thanks for the discount, but we're not looking for premium snow plowing service right now.
You should encode your number. That'll blow most of the telemarketers.
Just kidding. We're actually being drafted by a patient in critical condition.
Wait, what?
Understood. We'll be right over.
Are you serious?
Yeah, come on. We can't afford to be late.
You can't just joke around about these things! You're serious? Neil?
Yeah, it's not all happiness and sunshine, this job.
Yeah, this is just a mini episode. To the Moon is a very, very good series. But for now, I need my second shower of the day. So I think I'm going to have to wrap up here before I crash. Let me see. Chaos Hand's live.
Yeah, I mean, look at me. I definitely need a shower now.
Chaos Hand is doing a cooking stream in the most manly apron I have ever seen in my life. One moment. This is pure toxic masculinity right there.
All snark aside, let's go raid Chaos Hand because that is amazing.
Guys, thank you all so much for being here. Thanks so much for the gift subs as well. It has been an absolute pleasure streaming for you, as it always is. More of this madness next time. Tomorrow is going to be Trails Monday as ever, and this Tuesday is most likely not going to be Linear Tuesday because of the 12 Days of Indie event starting very shortly. And I'm going to assume that Linear wants to set up for that, but I'll get back to you on that when needed. Exactly, Tron!
Yeah, let's immediately stop this subject before we make it worse. But all sarcasm aside, all joking aside, let's just go raid Chaos Hand. As noted, 12 Days of Indie is starting next week. I will be streaming for the charity slots at least on the 6th of November and the 12th of November, I think. So my streams will be off for those days, but more detail as we get along with things. For now, again, thank you so much for being here. It's been a great weekend with you all. More of this next Friday when we're going to continue Spirit Fairy. I meant to do that. But for now, I hope you just have a good night. And hopefully an excellent week. Mine promises to be stressful and busy as fuck, so, help. Let's get the raid message up. And from here... Yeah, it's going to be quite busy, and I have a lot of stuff to sort out, including calling the government to ask where the fuck the result to the registry information is, because they said 4 to 6 weeks on the 23rd of September, and it is now the 1st of November. It's been long enough. I want to know where I stand, because it's been preying on my mind for a month and a half now. Technically speaking, Thursday is the end of the 4 to 6 weeks, but it's been long enough. I need to know where I stand because it's genuinely stressing me out. Don't forget to let me know what your incentives are. Yeah. Yeah, Shadowleaf, to make a very long story as short as I possibly can, I have a form of autism and ADHD, and I'm looking to get onto a government registry to either get me the Vajong, a Dutch law that basically puts me on disability and thus makes life significantly easier than my current welfare situation, or get a job with guidance, because I need to know where I stand. But because of the autism, I am constantly in a state of, I have a stable pattern now, but it'll change. I need this to be, to get round in things. But I want to know where I stand because it's taken so goddamn long. But we'll just have to see. Sorry, I didn't mean to lay that on you guys at the end of the stream. That kind of came out of nowhere. But that's the reason why next week will promise to be moderately stressy. But yeah, I'm wrapping up now before we get into more lengthy discussions on some topic or other. Once again, thank you for being here. All the hugs, all the love, and all the thank you. Good night, and see you next time.